We've been talking a lot about the streamer Mount Rushmore on this channel, and it got me thinking, what would that streamer Mount Rushmore look like if we were to translate it to YouTube? Now, YouTube is a seriously massive platform with over 60 million active accounts uploading right now. And with the various different types of content ranging from blogging to gaming to education and children's programs, it would be an impossible feat to attribute YouTube's current landscape to just 4 creators. But that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Welcome to my definitive, objective, 100% correct, inarguable YouTube Mount Rushmore. Now, before we get into it, I'm gonna lay down some rules. Firstly, this Mount Rushmore is only gonna contain individual creators that I think have had the largest impact on the YouTube landscape overall. Secondly, although I will be talking about global impact in this video, I'm only gonna condense it down to English-speaking creators, as those are the only people I'm familiar with. And lastly, this isn't a Mount Rushmore of my 4 favorite YouTubers of all time, but rather the 4 YouTubers I think have had the largest impact on the platform. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please hit that button down below and the like button because it really helps out my channel, and let's get into this. First on this list, I've got PewDiePie, and this is basically a no-brainer. PewDiePie very early in his career was a pioneer of the Let's Play genre, which became one of the largest genres on YouTube, which you can still see to this very day. PewDiePie held the subscriber record on YouTube for a dominant 5 years and 8 months, and eventually became the first ever individual creator to hit 100 million subscribers on the platform. He eventually moved into the commentary space as well, becoming one of the most influential voices in YouTube news and just YouTube in general. It's very safe to say that if not for PewDiePie, we wouldn't see a lot of the large names in YouTube that we see today. But second on my YouTube Mount Rushmore, let's turn the clock back a bit and let's talk about NigaHiga. Now, NigaHiga wasn't just one of the first large YouTubers ever, he was just one of the first YouTubers ever. Ryan started his channel in 2006 with his now iconic video How to Be Ninja, and him and his best friend Sean Fujiyoshi made tons of home comedy skits together. Ryan held the title for most subscribed YouTuber for 675 days straight and was the first ever YouTuber to hit 2 and 3 million subscribers. These are insane numbers to think about when you consider the fact that Ryan was doing this before the YouTube algorithm existed. Recommended videos weren't the thing, so Ryan was wholly organically growing his YouTube audience. Very early in his YouTube career, he created the blueprint for YouTube comedy to become a thing, and all of those skit videos that you see on YouTube now are a direct consequence of NigaHiga's success. Later on in his career, he'd take his content up a notch, creating some of the highest quality content you'd ever seen on the platform at the time. Ryan took his production to the next level and revolutionized the YouTube space, kind of displaying that YouTube didn't just have to be a place for low quality home videos. Ryan eventually stepped away from YouTube in 2020 after his best friend Sean moved to pursue his own career. But for all the ways Ryan revolutionized the YouTube space, he won't be forgotten as one of the greatest YouTubers of all time. But turning the clock right back to present day, at number 3 I've got MrBeast. Now, for some reason, I sense that this will be the most controversial placement on this list, but hear me out. Back in 2018, one of the biggest events on YouTube was the first YouTube channel to ever hit 100 million subscribers. If you're above the age of about 15 and were on the platform at the time, you definitely remember this, but it was a race between PewDiePie, who was kind of having his last dance as the largest creator on the platform, and T-Series, that was an Indian organization that posted all of the most popular music in the country. Despite the efforts of tens of millions of people, T-Series eventually won that race, and in that moment it felt like the YouTube landscape was about to shift. YouTube no longer felt like YouTube, a place that was run by its creators. It instead at the time felt like a place where large organizations would be the main focal point of the platform from that point onwards. And if PewDiePie, the largest individual creator on the platform, couldn't change that narrative, then it was inevitable. And with the way T-Series continually opened the gap, it looked like there was no shot that one man could ever be the face of the platform ever again. Or so we thought. Little did we know, there was one man looking to bring YouTube back to the creators. People find it difficult to see MrBeast as just an individual creator, because at this stage he isn't. MrBeast is a company, an organization with over 500 employees. Not something that somebody can replicate from the comfort of their own home. But if you go back and see where Jimmy started 13 years ago, it's very easy to see that Jimmy is a homegrown YouTuber. And he absolutely deserves the spot on the YouTuber Mount Rushmore. He not only proved that YouTube is a place for the creators and anybody can become the face of the platform if they do what it takes, but he also revolutionized the platform by proving that YouTube isn't just fun and games and can be a serious business if you make it in the space. But that brings us to number 4 on our list, which I kind of toss and turned about, but I'm going to give you who number 4 is and I'm going to tell you who the runner-ups were. Now, it's crazy to think about the fact that some people watching this video may not actually know who this is, but Kai Cenat started his YouTube channel off in 2010, posting some well-made yet charming comedy skits and some random videos here and there, but where Kai makes the YouTube Mount Rushmore is through his popularization of the daily vlogging format. Now, daily vlogs obviously existed in some form before Kai came around, but Kai was not your average daily vlogger. A charismatic personality with a high-quality camera and well-timed and engaging music, transitions that made the video exciting, and a new mini storyline every day had viewers hooked. Kai's style paved the way for what would become one of the largest genres on the YouTube platform and inspired so many channels worldwide it would be stupid not to put him on the YouTube Mount Rushmore. Now, obviously with this sort of thing, we had some runner-ups. Smosh and Fred, who pioneered the comedy side of YouTube, Fred in particular becoming one of the first mainstream YouTubers on the planet. The only reason why I didn't put them on this list was because I thought NigaHiga kind of already encapsulated that whole side of YouTube. Now, the other 2 YouTubers that I had in mind were KSI and Jake Paul. And this bit of the conversation sparked a bit of a debate between me and one of my friends, because if I was to make this a tier list instead of a Mount Rushmore, I'm pretty confident that I would have Jake Paul above KSI. Now, I like KSI as a YouTuber infinitely more than I like Jake Paul. Don't get that wrong. But I think I'd have Jake Paul above KSI. Now, just like some of the other comedy and gaming YouTubers on this list, KSI really did pioneer some of the largest genres on the platform. And not only that, but what KSI did for YouTube was monumental for the platform, even for other creators like Jake Paul to come on here and start having creator groups. That being said though, what Jake Paul did to the YouTube space is essentially take the creator house format and the daily vlogging genre and mesh them together to do irreparable damage to the YouTube platform. This guy was a problem. He had the hottest hand on the whole platform, created some of the most iconic videos on the planet, and ultimately birthed a generation of some of the most insufferable creators of all time. And I think that gives Jake Paul's YouTube Rushmore argument some merit to it. I think the YouTube Mount Rushmore is about impact, and at the end of the day, while Jake Paul had a more negative impact, arguably, the boy had an impact. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. I'd love for you guys to comment down below what your top 4 YouTubers on the Mount Rushmore would be. If you made it to the end and you're still not subscribed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. We basically upload here every day, so I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.